Okay. Just coming by doing my labor and delivery video, and I guess my first week postpartum. I'm just gonna do it all together because who knows when I'll be back. Seriously. Um, let's see where I leave off. Um, well, I made it to 41 weeks. Um, Made it to 41 weeks. Was having high blood pressure issues. I was feeling fine at a certain point. I was like on light bed rest. Um, First, she's not in the video because she's asleep. Um, Here's her on the monitor. You can see her. I know, what fun is a labor and delivery video without the baby? So, I'm gonna do a video tomorrow of her, just like a random post, because I can't imagine her letting me do like a whole video. That'll be like a joke, maybe when she gets older. So anyway, I was having some high blood pressure issues. They weren't really affecting me anymore. The headache went away, and I was pretty okay. Um, but see, I was going to the doctor and stuff almost like every day just to keep her in, and I was having trouble breathing, walking. I was just miserable, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I was like, what? When did I go into the hospital? I went in on Friday, and I told my mom I'm done. Like, cause I was supposed to go in for a sonogram. Okay, I'm all over the place. Let me back up. Um, Went in for a sonogram to some random doctor, just to get one, and she said, oh, she said she was, I don't know if I'm lost. Okay. Forgive me if I repeat stuff. But she said that she was measuring like 4 weeks behind, and I like freaked out. Like 4 weeks behind. That's crazy because every time I go in, her fundal height is normal, everything is good. So I kind of freak out, and but my doctor calls me. He goes over the results, and he's like, it's fine. Um, some babies are small, no big deal. Because her recommendation was that I'm induced, and at this time I'm still holding out, trying to have faith that I won't have to have an induction. So, um, so he calms my nerves or whatever, but then it's like I don't know what was going on. I just couldn't breathe. I was tired of being pregnant. I felt intuitively that she wasn't going to come on her own. So I was still going with the flow. I didn't want to quite say, okay, induce me. So I went to the doctor on Thursday. Everything was fine. Everything was cool. My blood pressure was a little elevated, but nothing alarming. So they said go in for a sonogram on Friday at the hospital. So Thursday night, I'm just like, man, I can't do this anymore. I want my daughter here. So I decided that I was gonna say, okay, induce me. So I went to the hospital Friday, told my mom to pack her bags. We packed all our stuff, and see what happened. That's why I'm trying to do this now, so I don't forget all of this, because it was an amazing experience that I definitely want to remember. So bear with me. It was like last week, today. So went to the hospital Friday. I was feeling fine. My blood pressure was elevated though, and they gave me this because they thought I was preeclamptic or whatever. But they kept doing blood tests. It was fine, but they had me do a 24-hour urine sample. So I peed in this thing for 24 hours, which that's kind of what tipped it over. Like, we're doing way too much, because on that Monday anyway, I would have had to have been induced because she was 42 weeks, and I didn't feel comfortable going after that. So, um, what happened? So, but looking at my urine in the thing, I wasn't peeing that much. Like, I was going to the bathroom frequently, but it wasn't a lot coming out, and I drank two quarts of liquid that day. So just I wasn't turning it over like I was supposed to. My blood was coming back fine, but it just was like, what is going on? So I told the midwife, like, look, induce me. She was like, well, you should have told me on Thursday because, it's the weekend. There was like baby galore being born at the hospital that weekend. But later I found out. But so she didn't want to induce me. But then when she left, she kind of thought about it. She was like, no, let's go ahead and go. So I was stoked. I mourned my water birth a little bit. But that was out the window when the blood pressure rose anyway, and didn't go down. So, because they won't let you do water birth with elevated blood pressure or like any type of issue. So, um, that was out of the way anyway. So they started me on the Cervidol, the little tampon looking thing. When did I start that? I started at like maybe like midnight, and it was cool. I don't like, well, clearly I don't really like any of the exams. I don't know, the midwife that worked that shift. She just, I don't know. I can't blame it on her. I just don't like the pelvic exam, especially at that point. So anyway, um, so she put the Cervidol in. I went to sleep. Woke up probably 5 that morning. Excuse me. At this point, it's Saturday, early Saturday morning. So I woke up at 7 that morning and was like cramping. It wasn't that bad. I was doing my hypno babies. It was going good. I'm like, okay, this is what labor feels like. That's what's up. Yeah, right. So I'm like cramping, um, falling asleep during the contractions and stuff. And they're very mild, like minor. I'm thinking I'm in labor and I'm like, you could be doing all this at home. The sucky thing about it though was that because my blood pressure was just blah at this point. Um, the pain was okay, but I had to lay on my left hand side. So I'm being a rebel and I keep going to the bathroom. So I'm just like, I can't lay on my left hand side for forever because I'm like, yeah, it was just crazy. So I would go to the bathroom and pee and just kind of sit on the toilet. It was way more comfortable to labor in the bathroom on the toilet or my birthing ball, which that was the plan. But because my blood pressure was elevated, couldn't quite do that. So that threw a whole monkey wrench into it. So I tried to comply, but they kept threatening to put me on mercury. I'm just like, what is, like, I guess I've never heard of that. So I'm like, why can't y'all give me something else? But they were like, we really don't want to put you on mercury, but we will. So they kept drawing my blood and stuff. And my blood was fine. I wasn't preeclampsia. But what happened with the blood pressure, I believe, which is jumping ahead a little bit, was that I had on the small cuff, because in the hospital they give you a cuff and they just like kind of hooked me to a blood pressure monitor and it just automatically took my blood pressure every 15 minutes. So the cuff I had was for like an adult. And now I was like, not was, I am overweight. And so I could have used the bigger cuff. Once they put the bigger cuff on me after I had given birth and everything, my blood pressure was perfect. So I'm thinking my blood pressure probably did rise, but it wasn't to the point where I needed to be lying on my left hand side, where I just need to be like bedridden and stuff like that. So a lot of what I had to endure was probably a bunch of drama based on my blood pressure looking higher than what it really was, which sucks at this point because I didn't realize until I got um, out of the room that they had different sizes. So anyway, um, where were we? I need to stay on track because my brain is like. So anyway, what was I saying? So okay, so laboring things are fine. Excuse me. Like two and a half centimeters, 1 centimeter, just nothing. Nothing's really going on down there. So then we talk pitocin, which pitocin was going to come anyway, but I think since I dilated, I think when I went to the doctor, I was 1 centimeter, and so I had dilated two just on my own with a Cervidol. I'm still trying to hold on to no pitocin, so I'm just like, no, just let me labor on a little bit. This is a joke. I was gonna be there probably still laboring, and so eventually I was just like, okay, bring on the pitocin. So they kicked in the pitocin, and that's when the true pain began. It was like, um, I wanted to cry. I wanted to throw stuff. I wasn't yelling. I never got to like, ah. I never got there. But I was doing my hypno babies, but it wasn't working. It was not working. Um, Maybe because I didn't study well enough. I don't know, but it didn't work. Um, okay, I won't say it didn't work because at some points I fell asleep, but just to get in that place it was so hard, and to stay there was even harder. And it's just something I just couldn't endure. I'm like on the toilet, shaking and like trembling and stuff. I was watching another labor and delivery video, and it's real. The pain is so bad, you just like shake. It's horrible. Um, so I endure that about 4 hours. I take it for 4 hours because they slowly increased it by one increment. And then when she came in, this is why I tell you don't let them check your cervix and tell you how much you're dilated. When she came in and told me I was 4 centimeters dilated, like I'm feeling like I have to push. I don't know why, but I'm 4 centimeters. Like okay, I have to push, and they start setting up the room like the baby's coming. I'm like okay, yeah. When she tells me I'm 4 centimeters, I like lose it. I'm just like oh hell no, this is not cool. So then I'm just like, she's like, well, we need to kick up the pitocin. I'm like, fuck that. I can't take no more pitocin. I can't even take this because we were at 4 then. I can't even take the pitocin at 4 for much longer. Get the anesthesiologist in here. I need an epidural. And she was like, okay, because what I said, like, she didn't suggest it. They totally made it my decision. Um, but she was just like, we need to kick it up or you're going to be in here for a long time. And I'm just like, I can't take it kicked up. And I was like, is it too late for an epidural? She was like, it's never too late for an epidural. So I'm just like, cool. She was like, well, I'll let you sit with it for 10 minutes to the side. I'm like, no, boo. I'm good. Let's go. So she goes, they processed whatever. The anesthesiologist came, I guess, like within an hour. And so in the meantime, I'm still doing my hypnobabies, trying to get in my zone. Um, and so when he comes, he like numbs the spot and sticks it in my back. And like, oh my god, like 5 minutes later, I'm just like, whoa, this is what's up. Like my legs, I can't feel my legs. I'm completely out of pain. I'm sleeping. I'm laughing. I'm on Facebook. I'm good. Um, and I was like 9.5 centimeters, and I posted, and they were like, "You must have got an epidural if you're still on Facebook at 9.5 centimeters." I was so bored though, because I had been like laboring or been in the hospital since Friday. At this point, it's Saturday, probably like 12. Well, early Sunday morning. So anyway, I'm sleeping in and out of sleep. Excuse me, I'm watching the monitor, making sure she's okay. Um, so I so I'm sleeping and stuff. The room is getting ready. The nurses, oh my God, Atlanta medical nurses were amazing. They took really good care of me. One lady sang me a song, and another lady, she took really good care of me. It was awesome. Um, so after that, okay, so 9.5 centimeters, and the midwife on duty. I guess there's a lot of patients there from my practice or whatever. So she's like, "What you like?" Because at this point, my water has not broken. So I guess I'm on the back of the list. I don't know. I'm just sitting there, draining the epidural. Blah. So I'm getting kind of frustrated because I want, it's time to go. I can be pushing now. Cause I think I was, well, last time I checked, I was not 9.5 centimeters, and that was like some time had passed. I probably was 10 centimeters. It's time to push. Um, so I'm just waiting. Then there's this beeping noise that starts to go off. I'm like, what is the beeping noise? It's the epidural. It just ran out of medicine. I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like really nervous. Like, oh my god, it's ran out of medicine. What do we do now? So I'm like acting like all paranoid with the nurse. She's like, I don't know. This has never happened before. I was like, can you call him and ask him for another one? Something like, we need some answers in here because I don't want to start feeling all of this pain like all of a sudden. So then she checks my cervix again, and I feel her, I just feel the pressure of her poking around in there. And I think she breaks my water on purpose, but we're not going to tell anybody. And it's all right with me because I can tell she's getting frustrated. She knows it's time to deliver the baby, but the midwife is just like kind of slow playing. Oh, I can't say slow playing, but there's other stuff going on. So whatever was going on, it was time for me to deliver Gabrielle. Um, so water breaks. Funny thing is the smell of the water break was the same smell of the discharge I had been having for the last 3 weeks. I think I was leaking amniotic fluid because the smell was exactly the same. Anyway, so water breaks. This time I'm just feeling pain in my back, and I'm feeling like a contraction, but it's like the same amount of pain as the cervical contraction, so they're nothing compared to the pitocin contractions. So, feeling contractions or whatever, it's hazy right here. I'm trying to think. I think before the midwife comes in, she was like, okay, we're gonna start pushing. So I'm not in any pain. I'm really scared of feeling the pain, but I don't feel the pain yet. But I can. I'm starting to feel the minor feelings of contractions. I'm starting to feel my legs come back, which I think is the point. I think my midwife probably did that on purpose. It's just the nurse didn't know, whatever, or they wasn't telling me. I don't know, because they did keep a few secrets throughout the process. So anyway, so what happens next? This is gonna be long because I'm like so scatterbrained. Um, so what happens next is we start to push. My mom has one leg, she has another, and she basically tells me to grab my leg, come up, and like push, and do it 3 times and hold it for a count of 10. So I do that. I guess going good or whatever. And then the midwife and stuff, she's like in and out of the room as I'm pushing, and then like I don't know. There's no pain. It's pretty cool. There's no pain, but I'm pushing on my own. I can feel the pressure a little bit, but there's no pain. I can feel the contraction, so it's kind of perfect. So I'm pushing on the contractions, pushing on the contractions. That's not really working too well. So they pull up these little things on the bed. So I'm pulling on those, and they're really good to help kind of get her down. Um, then like they're walking me through how to push, and I'm really like, I'm stopping like, okay, you want me to do what? Because I don't want to be pushing for no 2 hours. I'm not trying to tear and rip nothing open, and I want to be able to push her out in a timely manner because I know she's been like in the little waiting thing for a long time. She's dropped, she's been there a while, so I'm like, okay, let's get this kid out because in terms of her heart rate, her heartbeat, she's the reason why I didn't have to get a C-section because she like her heart never, there was never any issues with her. She was always good, which is a blessing. She's been amazing. So, but I figured she's done her part. I need to do my part, push her out. So I was trying to take the directions as best I could, and they did a good job, really good job at explaining it. So I pushed, pushed, pushed. They told me that I need to get her to visualize getting her head through my pelvis, and then once she's there, it's just a matter of one more push. So I managed to do that, which was a challenge. So I managed to do that, got her over there, and then pushed one more time, and she came out, and it was a freaking amazing. Like I saw her because it wasn't like how you see on TV, where she comes out, she's handed directly to you. She actually, I don't know the word, it starts with an M, but she had her first bowel movement inside of me. But I believe my theory is that she just had it and she hadn't been in there too long with it because they didn't find any in her lungs or anything. But anyway, so they pulled her out and she's laying on the thing. She's quiet and she's cleaning her. They're not really tripping. I don't sense any tension. But then another doctor walks in and I see it. I take note of it, but I'm just still like focused on her. And then she starts crying. I just like fall all apart. Like, oh my God. I'm like crying and stuff. And then the doctor hands her to me. And she hands her to me. She puts her like on my stomach. And she puts her on my stomach. And she's just like panting like like she's like not panting but like this really like I don't know what it's called. It's like a cry but not really. And I don't know. It's like the sweetest thing I ever heard in my life though. So she's like panting, crying, and I just I didn't even mention like the first time I heard her cry either. It was amazing. It's like the sweetest sound. And then she was doing it for like 30 minutes on my chest. But the thing about it, she was so alert. Like her eyes are open and they're like fixed on me. She was like watching me. I'm watching her, and I'm just like talking to her and everything. It was amazing. It was amazing. I could definitely do it again, in spite of the pitocin pain. But it was amazing. She cooed and she cried a little bit. And So after that, I held her, and then they eventually took her, which they didn't clean her up. She had this pretty bad smell, because of the, I forgot the name of the word. I hate that, but it was pretty rank smell, but it was cool. Um, so I think after that they cleaned me up because they had a lot going on that weekend at the hospital. A lot of births. So they cleaned me up, took me down to labor and delivery, and I'm just like fire, like ding. I'm trying to take a bath like right then because I'm dirty. Trying to give her a bath. I'm just like wired. I couldn't sleep if I wanted to, so I'm like cleaning and all kind of stuff. I get both of us cleaned up, and I'm just holding her and stuff. And eventually, I start feeling pain. Also, I didn't tear, thank God, but I did like, I don't know, just like everything. I still had pain still down there, even after a week. There's pain, so there was like little cuts and stuff. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared to look, really. So, but I just have to use a squirt bottle and stuff. But so there is still pain. It's getting better. There's bleeding, but not that bad. It's like a light period at this point. They said it could last up to a month. I'm thinking I should be done bleeding at least by next week. Excuse me. Um, so let's see. But so we stay in the hospital that night, and I'm ready to go the next day because I feel like, well, for one, I just had colostrum, so she wasn't really eating, so she was like cranky. I mean, she was on my boob like a whole day, and I'm doing my best to stick with it um, that day, but it was kind of stressful, and I figured if we were at my house, it would be a lot better. So that's not why we went home, but we were fine. Like that's when I realized that I needed a bigger cuff. So I got the bigger cuff. My blood pressure was like 110 over freaking 2, and so it was all good. She was perfect. Um, so we went home, and when we got home, I think she still nursed a whole lot because my milk just came in a couple of days ago, so she still nursed like all day. She was hungry. I took her to the doctor because she didn't have her first bowel movement. She didn't have another bowel movement again, so I took her to the doctor. Um, he gave me some formula to give her, so I did supplement. It was like 6 bottles, so I supplemented. She ate it. This child, when I took her back to the doctor on Thursday, she had gained like 11 ounces. Like the nurse practitioner was like, she's never seen weight gain like that before. So she's an eater. She's definitely throwing it back. So now that my milk is in, I'm actually producing more than she can drink. So I'm starting my little going back to work stockpile, which is exciting. Um, I wake up in the middle of the night with drippy boobs, and then she wakes up. It's kind of amazing how that happens. Like she knows, or my body knows when she's about to get up, and so we're kind of in sync like that, which is not really too surprising since she just came from my being. Um, what else? See, in terms of there's so much I could tell. I don't even think I have enough time. Um, Matter of fact, I'll stop here and then do first week postpartum because I really do want to get into this stuff, and I have some stolen time that I'm on now, so I'll go ahead and get into it. All right, I'll be back.